Hey everybody, it's Alika Lifty, and today let's brew our Colombia La Palma y El Tucán natural process Sidra offering on filter. So another La Palma y El Tucán. I say this a lot because La Palma is wonderful and it's the first crops of this harvest. So we have some really excellent coffee offerings, and this is a natural Sidra, which we've had a couple natural Sidras over the past year. And I'm really excited about this one. It is exceptionally complex. It is very sweet, and it's really hard to mess up. And because of that, I have a really easy recipe. It's very similar to the one we did for the Granjala Esperanza Sidra release. So we're just gonna be doing 2 pours, and today we're gonna be using a Hario V60. But you can replicate this recipe in a Kalita Wave or a Stag X, and you can use the exact same grind size, and we're gonna have really great results. So we do need at least a Hario V60 02. So a little bigger size. This specific recipe is just gonna be really difficult to fit into the 01 size, which is about like half this size. It's just really small. So I've got Hario V60, I've got my decanter, I have my scale, and we're gonna be using 15 grams of our natural Sidra, ground medium fine, almost like very fine. This was 10 on a Baratza Encore, which is really, really fine. And this will be about 18 clicks on your Comandante C40. So really fine, but this is still gonna be a really fast drain time and a really excellent cup of coffee. So 15 grams of coffee, 270 grams of water, set to 206 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is a 1:18 ratio, really high ratio. We're gonna get a really nice, delicate in flavor, but very smooth and rich in texture for this coffee. So Hario V60, let's fold the perforation on that paper filter, toss it in here. Always start along one side, and then you can take your finger off so you don't burn yourself. Give this a good rinse, really until you stop smelling paper. With small recipes, it's especially important to get all of that paper smell out. Dump that. Let's toss our coffee in. Tare our scale. Now I have a borosilicate stir stick. I'm going to use this to help break clumps during the bloom. You can use a chopstick, the back end of a spoon, something small that's not going to add a lot of agitation to our brew. Push this filter in just a little bit. It was a little bit wonky. All right, tare our scale, and let's brew. I'm going to start my timer, and I'm gonna bloom only 30 grams. So pretty quick. And then let's break those clumps. So where you see these big air bubbles popping, just give that a poke. There we go, now we have no dry pockets. I'm going to let this rest for 30 seconds, and then at 30 seconds, I'm gonna pour all of our water. I'm gonna start in the middle, spiral out, spiral back in, spiral out again if you need to, but all in one continuous pour, going all the way up to 270. So I dropped in the middle, I have this kind of crust that's formed. Just move outside, break that apart, push all that coffee back in, work your way back to the middle. I want to spend most of my time here in the middle and spiral as little as you need to. All the way up to 270. So really high ratio, which would traditionally be much more watery, but this is such a soluble coffee and it has such an excellent texture. We get really nice cup profile out of here. And it's going to take about another minute to drain, and we just really let it do its thing. So we put all the water in here. It's gonna drain really fast. We're not really changing concentration. We're not adding additional agitation. If we grind too coarse and this just zips through, then our cup is still gonna be really sweet, but the acidity, instead of being mouth-watering, is going to be a little bit more one-dimensional and drying. On the other side of things, it's actually really hard to over-extract this coffee. Instead, the more extraction we get, first, the more we just kind of mute that acidity, and then we start to kind of cover up the acidity, and it becomes a little muddled. and we didn't enjoy that as much. Here at around 2 to 2.5 minute drain time is when we had the most balance and the brightest, most vibrant cup profile. So we should taste hibiscus cider. So floral red fruit with that bright apple acidity, but very sweet and slightly fermenting. Should be overall sweet, and that acidity should be vibrant and mouthwatering. We're also going to taste strawberry Jolly Rancher. So very sweet, candy-like sweetness, with that red fruit just shining through, and cacao nib in the finish. So a little tart, but cocoa. All right. Serve and enjoy.